I feel the demons. Know me, I feel protect my freedom. Give thanks every morning. You know the most I never have my doubts. I start progress, I just gain in the wisdom. I standing tall with the United Kingdom. They I've couple of my brothers in the system. From a place called Bad Britain. No say I feel out the demons. Know me, I feel protect my freedom. Give thanks every morning. Know the most I never have my doubts. As time progress, I just gain in the wisdom. I standing tall with the United Kingdom. They have couple of me brothers in the system. From a place called Bad Britain. From a place called Bad Britain. No say I feel the demons. Know me if you protect my freedom. Give thanks every morning. Know the most I never have my doubts. As time progress, I just gain in the wisdom. I'm standing tall with the United Kingdom. I'm standing tall with the United Kingdom. They have a couple of me brothers in the system. From a place called Bad Britain. From a place called Bad Britain.
Yo, what's going on? Happy New Year, everyone. Even though it's a bit late by about a day. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy 2025 and all that jazz. Hope everyone had a good Christmas and all that. Yeah, brilliant, guys. I hope you all had a good one. Hope you all had a good one. So, how is everyone? Everyone good? Yeah. Willie Medic, man. I've been looking. There's some stuff going on, isn't there? Who's got sources? Come on. I'm going to try and look for a few things now we can look at, but there seems to be a lot going on in the United States right now. I'm also just heard, I don't know how true it is. I need to try and, I'm going to sit here as I'm talking. I'll let people on the panel, or maybe we'll just use some of what I find. We can discuss, because it seems like there's a lot going on in America today. It looks like there's been some kind of shooting in Texas, a shopping mall. There's been a small aircraft crash into a warehouse and injure 11 people. What else has there been today? Oh, I've just come in that this is from an Australian media outlet, though, that there may have been a shooting. So I don't know how true this is. Another shooting, so I don't know how true this is at the moment. But let's see who we got in. Chris, Niggy Burke, Mr. Chips. I know Mr. Chips, I'm always late. I apologise. Pork Chops, DP Audits, Mr. Meatball, Princess Angela, Angry Man. Who have I missed out, man? Who have I missed out? Active Shooter, Peggy, what's up, gal? Hope you had a good Christmas and Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Hey, Scouse, man. Yeah, bro. Same to you, man. Same to you, brother. Yes, Optical. Capitol building at 10 a.m. this morning. I've got here, actually, a scanner on my phone. It's a police scanner, yeah? So I can actually tune in to... There's two here. We've got so if there's any Americans in here, this might sound familiar with you. I don't know. So what ones have I got here? South Carolina we want, isn't it? Of course, there's so many on here. Here we are. But yeah, so I'll try and work on that. What we got? UK saying. seems rampant across the USA. There's something going on, man. Definitely.
Aggressive. Clothing, stranded motorist, South Church University Ridge, is semi on the roadway, 88 subject on Pendleton Street, 50 hit and run, 24 is at LEC, Reverend 385 in Haywood, and a contact call for Pimlico, no use.
That's regarding some manhunt going on. There's nothing regarding the what I was going on about. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on in America right now. Right now. Shall I just put the link out and then people can join? America is crazy. J-O-J-O-J, isn't it? America is crazy, man. But I think we should be on our toes as well, to be honest. Oh shit. Just trying to sort this out. Yes,
Ian. How's it going?
Yes, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you live, man.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, one sec.
Happy New Year and all that, Niggy. Happy New Year, pal.
Fancy seeing you here. All right, Dad.
Hello, who are you? So, good evening. Yeah, I've seen you all over. Bear, nice to see you. Happy Merry thing, and a Happy New Year too.
Yeah. Nah, Christmas, man. Try and stay away from here. It's the last place you want to be over Christmas and the festive period. No one's festive on here.
Oh, it's been quite entertaining.
Is it?
Oh, absolutely. In the usual manner, you can imagine.
Not everyone. That doesn't count for everyone. That comment I just made. Like I say, there's a few people where I imagine if they went live, it was a good laugh. But on a whole, you know what it's like on here, Nicky.
Yeah.
What do you think with what's going on in America then?
Well, how much of it's going on now? What have you got? There's the guy that drove that van into the crowd, isn't there?
Yeah.
He also left an IED. Apparently, I didn't know that. Before he did it, he left an IED somewhere. Placed an IED on Bourbon Street before driving through the crowd.
And made video. He was making videos declaring support for ISIS just before the attack as well.
Yeah, man who drove he was an army veteran, employed by Deloitte, whatever.
And then we had the Tesla Cybertruck.
The Las Vegas explosion thing. So some lunatic left
Donald Trump's hotel, right?
Yeah. It was outside the international hotel for Donald Trump. The arsehole shot himself just before the blast as well. Yeah, fucking crazy. Just pulled up inside a Tesla, blew himself up and that.
What's up, bro?
Nuts, isn't it?
Lads, you'll have a good New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year, dude.
Happy New Year, mate. Hey, boys, Happy New Year. Chat, Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.
America's nuts at the minute, innit? It's just like one thing, like after another, especially the shootings and that.
So I've just looked. So in the last couple of hours while I've been sat in Discord, there's been a shooting at a shopping mall.
Yeah.
First they were trying to say that it wasn't a shooting. Now they're saying it was, but there were shots fired, but no injuries. But yet, there's still loads of police on the scene on the live videos.
Yeah. I wonder how much of that stuff is ordinary, normal, everyday.
It could be.
Yeah.
You've also had a small aircraft go into a warehouse, injuring 11 people.
No way.
And that's in South Carolina, the same place that they've sectioned off and blocked off the interchange. What is it, 81 or I think, because of a bomb threat.
Glad it was just injuries, then BBA rather than deaths. You know what I mean? That's, you know, I know injuries is bad, but you know.
So what was the deal? He flew a plane into this.
I don't know. Like I say, I haven't. Not enough information's coming about it. They don't even know.
What flickers?
Why or do you know what I mean? Where
That's like the norm now over there, isn't it? It's that big. They have that many states. What, 52 states all have their own laws. That's only is the death penalty still over there in some states? I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and that looks like it was true. So I don't know because I still haven't found it yet. So I'll try and get that. Confirmed, me Chong, for definite. But also, there's been 12 shot in Queen's nightclub, New York.
How'd you get in with a piece in a nightclub?
Good to see you, mate.
There's a lot of shit going on right
in
now.
America. You should be going through like one of them door things, shouldn't you? In America,
yeah, just learning about that plane attack, that plane thing as well. So a small plane crashed into a building in Fullerton, California, killing at least one person and injuring 15 others. The crash resulted in a 4-hour fire. I think it says the plume so thick you could see it for miles. But they don't know if it's they don't know if it's intentional or not. But yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, because the guy that was apparently meant to have been in this Cybertruck is like linked to being in the same regiment, if you like, or whatever, as the guy that's mowed a load of people down in New Orleans.
Oh.
So there's a link there. And like if there is something bigger here, because they have already turned around and said they're looking for more than just that one guy who mowed people down. They've already said that there was other people behind it.
Yeah.
And it really, what a slap in the face, man. Like your own veterans or your own maybe active military guys are now turning against you.
One's just been out at PBA, a UFC ex-fighter, Tim Kennedy. He's just been outed by, you know, them people who go after them, after ex-soldiers, and they go after stolen valor.
Cool.
Well, Tim Kennedy was in the Rangers and that, but he's done a book and told loads of lies, and it's been outed. It's all over YouTube, like, you know what I mean? He's done a book with loads of lies in, and all for money, basically, all for money, and all these guys that out, these stolen valor guys, they're all going mad because they're all ex-military. You know, you can understand it, can't you? Like, you know, they've gone through hell. I mean, Tim Kennedy, he was a soldier, but he was
claiming that he got the Bronze Star and stuff, wasn't he?
That's the one, mate. That's the one. Yeah. He claimed he got the Bronze Star and it got looked into. It's a load of shite. That's a big story at the moment in America. That Tim Kennedy thing, because I don't know whether you can get charged with that yet. I don't, because it's just...
It's a horrible thing to do. It's a shit thing, a real shit trick.
Yeah.
So in the States, there's the Stolen Valor Act of 2013 that makes it federally offensive to falsely claim military honors or decorations with the intent to either obtain money, property, or other tangible benefits, such as followers on YouTube and things like that.
Well, there you go, Jay. So I was watching that earlier on, right? They were saying things what you've just said there, claiming like, you know, these Bronze Stars, purple hearts, all that caper. Where is it?
It's so funny, and it's so easy to find out as well.
Like, buy one at a car boot sale or something. Do you know what I mean?
I think in the States, all your personal records are available anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's nothing in his record that reflects that at all. But he has come on the record and said that he's trying to clear his fucking name, or whatever it is he said.
Well, he's put certain names in his book, right? Like all the ones that were higher up above him, right? And this guy who on YouTube who out Stolen Valor, he's got contacts, and he went, I've been in touch with these people who he said in the book, and they're fuming. I think they're taking you know what it's like in America, legal action, mate. They sue, you know what I mean? You can stub your toe in someone's house and they'll sue you for it, you know what I mean? That's what it's
Me,
all
Chong
about.
saying, JJ, the Stolen Valor law was struck out as unconstitutional.
Oh, is it replaced with anything, mate?
Oh,
Or is it just left, just hit down and left?
Maybe this is why these Stolen Valor guys have come out, because it's only the last few years I've started noticing all that Stolen Valor stuff. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, there's
reason,
some guy
because-
on the American side who's like does like panel. Well, in fact, he don't even do panels. Basically, like one of these anti-auditor channels, right? And he was like criticizing auditors and shit like that. And his channel got a little bit of traction, not loads, but it did get a little bit of traction. Well, a load of people went away and managed to find out about this guy, looked into him, etc., etc. Turned out that like this guy was nothing like he was saying, and technically, I guess people would say, "Oh, well, was it stolen valor?" Because he's only sat online saying, but yeah, he was like claiming to be this and that and done this and that, and actually like
it's sociopathic behavior. It's narcissism.
Naughty as fuck, and it really naughty.
You got the weird thing was like he got so much hate for it, but his fucking channel grew from it, and it was like, wow.
But that, yeah, you can thrive on that thingy. And I just wanted to say as well about the Stolen Valor thing in America. The 2013 one that I mentioned is the current one. That's true. The 2005 one was replaced with the new one because they deemed it as free speech. But the new one says that if you're making money off of it, then that isn't just free speech. That's, you know, and you can go to jail for that.
Yeah, but that's what these are trying to do, because he put it in a book.
Good fucking, honestly.
He said he had a journalist with me, and this guy's going, this Stolen Valor guy who outs him, he's going, he had a journalist with him, but that means jack shit. What does that mean? He had a journalist with him. The journalist and the editor should have been all over that. That book, that shouldn't have ever been allowed to be published. They should have been all over that. I mean, but these guys, you know, the guys he's mentions in the book, they're suing the hell out of him, mate. Because he's making money to gain from. He's been in the ranges and he's embellished like everything, you know what I mean? I've done this and I've done that, and I was a sniper thing, and his phone got in touch with this sniper school, and he went, no, he didn't pass it. He never ever passed it. He never even got to that state yet. Said he was at some stage where, like, you know, them ones that can take people out from 2 miles away. One of them, poor pie merchants. But going back to the youths and that getting shot and that over there. That's gone on for years, BBA. That's the norm there, isn't it?
Well, it is not. So yeah, of course. But I'm just saying right now, there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of shit going on, and there has been for a couple of months, and like even like this whole drone thing. And I said it's only going to get worse, man. All these like little psyops and that, like I don't know, it's all a bit weird, man. And you look at what's going on in America at the minute.
Sorry, BBA, go on. Sorry,
I'm just saying, you see what's going on in America at the minute, last few days, couple of days, and it's
I've only seen bits and bobs of it, but them like you know, when the schools get shot up and that, in the right mind, mate, like with fucking awesome. I mean, you can go and buy an assault rifle, mate, an automatic with ID. In some states, as long as you haven't got like a police record. Someone has a bad day, you know what I mean? Just goes around, people out. It's not there. That's what you're there, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's how it right. That's the way it is.
Yeah,
it's not. BBA.
Yes.
What do you think will happen with the drones and that? I think they bring new laws out for them.
What you mean here?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that like to fucking take the piss out of flying a drone, don't they? That look like they want to.
I've got one.
So.
I can't fly it though, baby. You have to teach me.
Yes, Wingnut.
What's up, baby? What's up, baby?
Drones, fucking hell.
What's happening, fella?
They're pretty much low up, aren't they? You can't fly over out of visual line of sight and all that shit.
No,
That's
well, you shouldn't be able to, man. You should have to be able to see it.
Fucking
Like,
hell, no. I used to fly mine on a regular. You can get them. There's an app, obviously. I can't remember what it's called, but you rent this app. Anyway, you can plot routes for your drone. You can plot where it goes, how high or low it is, what speed it's going, which way it's facing, all that. You can make it stop and take pictures. And so I had been doing a regular circle around the bottom of the village here every day for a year, every flyable day for a year. Yeah. And that goes out of sight. That goes as far as I can possibly get it. And it's perfectly safe. It just comes straight back, you know.
It works out itself, doesn't it? It's got enough battery power.
Litchi, there you go. Yes, Sean's got it. It's a piece of software called Litchi, an app. Fucking brilliant.
Third party app
every day for a year, and I've got a year's worth of same view, if you know what I mean.
It's a third party app.
hang on, just go. What's up, Wingnut? You good, bro?
Yeah, man. I thought I'd at least have somebody from across the pond up on panel.
Yeah, man. Well, there's some crazy shit going on in your country right now. You not think?
Well,
Like more crazy than usual.
Yeah. I mean, personally,
It's
I think it's just another day. It's getting to that point in the way I see things. Honestly, because I mean, there is a point where some people want to normalize this type of behavior, and in a way it becomes like another Tuesday. You know what I mean? Which kind of sucks, honestly, man.
Do you think this is more or less than the usual? Like I know obviously America's being such a big country, and with having gun laws and things like that, you're going to see lots of different things because there's so many people to choose from. So deep. In your opinion, would you say there's been like a big uptake in crazy events?
Well, you have to take in consideration certain factors. Now there's a whole lot more people in this country that are technically quote unquote not legal. You know what I mean? They just came in and think they could just benefit from all our stuff over here when they're technically not legal, and and all this other stuff, and it does a disservice to the people that spent years and a lot of money to get a citizenship or whatever, become legal here. You know what I mean? And then, you get these people also are from different culture and a different perspective. So what they thought was normal there, where they came from, is not necessarily normal here. So, doing that kind of, shit over here, you
don't even know the police records, do you? Even know?
Well, I mean, honestly, we need, as just general people, need to have our hands untied. You know what I mean?
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Wingnut, but when I look at in the last couple of days, what I haven't seen is it's not been illegal immigrants that have been.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's one of the factors that. Yeah, that's one of the. I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm saying this is a thing that has many different factors. Now that there's more people, okay, when there's a lot of people pushed together, shoulder to shoulder type of stuff, tensions could get high very easily. You know what I'm saying? People are different now, and then you get people that are from a different culture and stuff like that. There's all kinds of stuff that could happen, and or there could be a very well. More of a crazy talk type of scenario. It could be more like one of those where it was a planned event to create a situation where the government can force in new regulations and laws on certain things on a blanket on everyone, not just the one that did the crime, everyone. You know what I mean? That's where all these like these gun grabber type people that want to disarm America, that they have their chance. They're like, oh, this is another reason why we got to ban guns, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So.
But when you see atrocities with guns, obviously, and this is from across the pond perspective, do you do you not see the link between a country that has a lot of guns and a country that has a lot of gun violence?
Let me ask you a question for that question. Would you say the same thing if you just would you ask the same question if you just switched the words from guns to cars and people using cars to kill a lot of people? Would you have that same question?
No, only I would if there was an equal amount of intentional car deaths and car slaughters in schools,
Well,
and
cars kill
cars
a lot of
being
people,
used
man.
they don't go into schools and shoot smaller cars really fast at like hundreds of rounds a second.
Yeah, but the cars, a lot of them are not by choice. A lot of them are accidents.
Well, like I said, it's the one wielding the vehicle in a sense. Whoever's driving the car.
Yeah, but my point is you can't take a car into a school and it's a bit of a
you can. Yeah, you drive that sucker straight into it.
But do you not see the link between, like, as a nation that doesn't have mass school shootings, do you not see the link between lots of guns and mass school shootings?
Let me say this. Put it this way: if we had if the government recognized our natural right to defend ourselves as a people, just no matter where you live in the world, we just wanted to have a place here. That's what our answer. They want to have a place here where that is recognized, that the rest of the world doesn't. That we have a right to defend ourselves. I mean, when it comes down to it, if somebody was to do me harm, I am.
Hang on. No. That's not what you're. The whole idea of you being able to bear arms is so that you can, if your government go against you, you can use it to overthrow your government. Yeah.
To resist against tyranny.
Yeah. So you resist. Resist from your government.
Yeah, we have the.
That's a bit outdated now because your government.
How is it outdated? I mean, let me ask you, how is it
You're
outdated?
Allowed to bear arms, yeah. How long?
Do you think governments cannot become tyrannical?
Now, I agree with you, but if you look at, like, say, for example, the UK, we have a similar sort of style of government. Things are pretty much the same, economically, everything else, but we don't have guns, and we have the same sort of, like, you having guns doesn't get you a better, fairer government. It just means more kids get shot in school.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I could put it this way. I was reading a statistic. I mean, like, for instance, UK is pretty small areas. I mean, the state of Florida is probably bigger than the whole damn island. But I was sitting there thinking, I was looking at this statistic. There are more home invasions with the people actually home over there than there are here. The main reason is because most of home invasions don't happen out there often because there are a good chance that the people that are doing the invading will get shot. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, it depends on where you're at. Everybody's carrying a gun.
I don't think they think like that over here because we haven't got like a gun frame of mind because we've been brought up that way. We don't have a gun frame of mind,
I think the main difference is though is that when we look at, like, we can't. I don't think anyone's saying that you can't have, like, the ability to be able to defend yourself. Because we are able to. Like, I've never been home invaded. I've got a couple of big dogs. I've got I'm able to defend myself in lots of ways. But my main point is though, like, how many. In the act of defending yourself, how many, school shootings because America is leaps and bounds ahead of everybody else, and the reason is because they have so many guns. There's nowhere else in the world that has that many children being shot in schools, like, having to go through metal detectors and stuff.
Well, it's unfortunate, honestly, that the news media doesn't
It's a little
really.
bit more than unfortunate, but I get you.
Well, no, I'm just saying that the news media doesn't really highlight the moments where it saved a life instead of just taking a life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know a lot of women that really can't fight a full size dude, and that is the balancing, the equalizer with that pistol in her pocket. You know what I mean?
It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Would you say this is a fair comment? Unfortunately, gun laws don't stop bad people having guns. However, they do stop good people from protecting themselves from the bad people with guns.
Yeah,
that's true.
And it's kind of true, and that's how it is here, right? Like all the criminals, they're going to go out and get those guns, regardless of whether they're criminals. For fuck's sake, that's what they do.
Oh yeah, we've got guns here illegally.
Well,
right, this is what I'm trying to say. If someone comes in your house and they've got a gun, right?
Right.
What are you going to do? You don't have a gun. You're not allowed a gun. You're a law-abiding citizen. You follow the law, right? So you don't have a gun in your home because that would be illegal, especially if you don't have a license.
Technically, here on YouTube, of course, yeah, I have nothing.
But I just like, but if you look at so per capita crime rates, a lot higher usually in like United States compared to say the United Kingdom. So like the homicide rate in America is 6.4 per 100,000, whereas in the UK it's 1 per 100,000.
Yeah.
And when you inject, wait 1 second, when you inject a lot of guns into a situation, the need to defend yourself from guns suddenly becomes a lot more prevalent. But more importantly, the violence suddenly takes a big jump. Then, so you go from robbing people to shooting people, robbing people.
Listen, right,
do you know what I mean? It's crazy, isn't it?
Mass shootings at schools, but if you start looking at statistics, like most people that die at the hand of a gun die from the hand of their own gun, which would probably lead you to probably go with the fact that
I was talking homicides.
Things,
I was talking homicides, one person killing another. It's up to 6 times higher per capita in the States than it is here. The difference is we don't have guns.
It's a bigger country for one. I mean, if you relate it to like your country,
that's why it's per capita. So per 100.
Yeah.
It's not about size. So when you do it per capita, you can, you're able to reduce it down and, work it out like, per individual. So per 100,000 people per capita, it's 6 times higher in the States because they have access to quite big weapons. It's quite unanimous. There's no denial. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a right to have guns. I'm just saying that it's undeniable that it causes a worse situation. But far be it from me.
My argument with that is, my argument with that is we need to as a people need to force the government to recognize our right to defend ourselves, and it needs to be now. A few states have already kind of went this direction.
It doesn't happen though, does it? Because you've got a government that's just as like I was saying before.
A lot of people are afraid to defend themselves because they'll get charged with something and put in jail or prison for something. Like for instance, okay, just using a gun, period, in a defensive type of scenario. If you don't have all your ducks in a row and you are in the full right, you will go to jail. You know what I mean? They'll throw you in jail for defending yourself. You know what I mean? Or even brandishing it, you're showing somebody it, in the wrong manner, or whatever that could get you put in jail. But the thing is like,
rightfully so though. I mean, there are strict laws around it. However, you are allowed to defend yourself in the right situation. You just got to make sure it's in the. You can't just go flashing it.
Right. Even if you have one, you know what I mean.
You have to fire a warning shot. So someone comes in your home.
And that depends on where you're at too. When it comes down to a warning shot, I mean, like if you're in an apartment complex, you're not going to be able to just sit there and fire a warning shot. You'll end up in somebody else's apartment. If you're like out in the open, like in
Thailand, you're supposed to fire one up in the ceiling, in your own home first, and then. You know what I mean?
My argument is just like if we weren't penalized and penalized for defending our home, our property, and our family or whatever, friends or whatever, if we weren't penalized and penalized for that, there would be less bad guys out there trying to do shit because they don't want to get shot.
No one's going to fire the warning shot.
In area, you need to come out.
That's the thing. It's like, if we weren't you know, if our natural right was recognized and to the fullest extent, we'd have nationwide open and concealed carry when it comes down to it. And then, you know, the actual criminal, the one that created the crime in the first place, the one that's going to be punished, not the one that was defending themselves. You know, there's some states
No,
out
I
here
don't
they
know.
have this
I hate
thing.
to interrupt you again. I'm so sorry. I don't know how people can, how anybody isn't, you know, how not anybody obviously is, you know, it's a very common thing, but it's quite an easy correlation between lots of guns equal lots of gun crime. So the very thing that, you know,
Well,
you think you're protecting
It's
yourself
choice.
against.
It comes down to
So
choice.
absolutely,
Choice.
but the reality is though, and you know, it's a
okay,
very simple point that what because
okay,
of the gun
you
crime
take away the
situation,
guns, who controls the
things like the
guns?
school, things like the school shooting and stuff like that. Yeah, or like, or,
people.
Well,
Go
yeah,
have
on,
you
but
ever
mate.
noticed
it's
all
not.
these
It's not even so much that.
shootings that you're talking about?
Without,
All these
in the
shootings you talk
absence of
about,
guns,
they're
in the
in a
absence of
gun-free
guns,
zone. Have you ever
without
noticed
them,
that? Also,
well,
yeah.
where there is no guns, crimes are lower, and there's
No,
there's
that's what I'm
actually
saying.
less crime.
Every one of those shootings that you're talking about happened in a gun-free zone where there's no
Well, it
guns
wasn't a
allowed in those
gun-free zone because
areas.
there was a gun there. I'm talking that countries that don't have guns, and this is irrefutable. So the UK, for example, because we have less guns per capita, which does account for the size thing, per
let
capita,
me throw
you
an
don't have
example.
less crime.
Guns were legal
Hey?
at one point. Guns were legal, weren't they, at one point here?
Yeah, and then they were a huge problem,
finish.
and then we completely outlawed guns with very special conditions, so you
Absolutely.
can have
After
legal
the
guns.
main
For
shooting when
example,
they
like,
really clamped down.
yeah, for
Let
example,
me ask
my
you.
daughter got a gun.
Let's hope from the war, didn't they? There was so many guns after the war. They had to.
Yeah, like you can have them for like if like my daughter's got a gun, but I can't be because of my mental health and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
can never be in the same property as that. Do you know? I can
Yeah,
go around obviously, but I can't stay there and stuff like that because mental health, and that's totally understandable. And she has to ensure that that is the case.
And she's got to be spick and span to be able to get a gun license in this
Exactly,
country.
yeah. But it's because like the farm and stuff, so it's
And that's the only time, you know, obviously there are other exceptions and stuff, but because of that, because of such strict gun laws, where in an area where there was loads of guns, there was loads of gun crime and serious crime, and then once the guns went away, that crime levels dropped down to 6 times less than current crimes that America has.
I can't
Yeah, and it's no good as well going like yeah, it's no good as well saying like, oh well, in cities that don't have guns, people with guns bring it in. That's because there's guns. What I'm saying is imagine no guns in the situation, and then everyone goes, well, how do we defend ourselves against guns? It's like, well, no, imagine no guns in the situation, just no guns. So you can't go, oh well, someone brings a gun in this area, then no one's got guns. You know, just no guns, and it works really well. Crime goes down.
How happy are we seeing our own armed police? Our own police being armed here. Now they say that there's less than 1,000 armed police in the country, but every time you pull 999, there's a fucking armed policeman there. I think we've got lots of them.
There's about 1,000 in Liverpool.
How do you feel about it in this country, having armed policemen?
I like it.
You like it?
No, I'm saying that, but I don't go out, so I can't really say much. But I feel safer.
Yeah, you haven't had a police sit there point a gun at you, so you don't know really what it's like. You know.
No,
that's another thing. Like when you start,
I'm just saying.
How many people get shot? That's true, Niggy. Because how many people in America
more likely to get killed by? Well, you're 9 times more likely to get killed by a cop than a terrorist here in this country.
The truth is, seriously. The more time you spend around guns, the more chance you've got of being hurt by one. That's just fact, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I do think it's outdated. I think it's a bit outdated in your constitution. Like when that was wrote, and now, and as I said, it was meant to be able to put a resistance up against your government.
Do you mean you like to bear arms?
Nuclear weapons and shit now, so your guns ain't gonna do nothing.
Do you mean you like
You think so? Really? Well, put it this way. I mean, America's got a pretty stout military. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And a bunch of so-called, you know, now this is just me, you know, being kind of like, you know, nasty about it. But It was a bunch of goat herders wearing rags on their heads that kept the most powerful military at that time busy for 20 fucking years. All right,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
imagine what we do on our own land, fighting for our own land, not somebody else's
We're
fucking land?
getting way off.
The
Here,
thing
mate.
is, though, what you're
Yeah.
saying there, but then you've got to look back at what's gone on now. It's your military or ex-military that have done what's just happened the last few days.
Okay, there's two sides to that too, also, because there are people believe that there are people that will follow the Constitution, and if their orders came from up above to do something like go into Wisconsin and kill everybody in that town, they would refuse to do that order. There are some that think that a lot of them would go that route,
Looking at what's happening
and then
now.
there's also another spectrum that think that the other side would
guns?
actually do exactly what they're told, because
I
that's
tell you
their
something,
job.
mate, I wouldn't swing that. Honestly, I wouldn't be too sure of that. There was a riots here in the was it 17 or 1600s where the army were told to shoot and bayonet the people of the UK, people that were rioting, and that's exactly what they did, mate. The army will follow orders. They will follow orders.
It's
Like,
happened in history here too.
Hang on, Wingnut. Let's hear from
Wingnut.
Scouse. Let's hear from Scouse.
Sorry.
Go on, Scouse.
My bad.
I think this is just my opinion, right? And well, kind of like what I've been told off my son, because he was in the armed forces, done his tours and that. It's a lot easier to kill someone with a gun. Do you know why? It's not personal, mate.
It's impersonal, exactly.
But with a knife, sticking a knife into someone is very, very personal. Do you get me?
Oh yeah.
It's easy to kill someone, 10 people from a distance.
I'm very familiar.
Playing a video game.
The what now?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do, because I really love blades. I'm a knife maker.
Big J.O.
Yeah.
So the event I was talking about here is called the Peterloo Massacre. If anyone wants to have a look at it, it was in 1819, so it wasn't that long ago. They were told to charge into a crowd. The cavalry told to charge into a crowd of around 60,000 people, and they did. Fucking
the military.
Yeah,
well, that's what I'm saying. There are some people that are in the.
Even bloody Sunday, 1972, British soldiers killed 13 unarmed civil rights protesters in Derry. Although not directly involving the British soldiers, the bombings of like the IRA led to military presence in the city of like Birmingham, resulting into loads of civilian casualties during raids and stuff. They will. Where was it as well? Was it the Malayan emergency to during the anti-insurgency operations? Where's this? British forces were involved in the death of civilians suspected of aiding communist guerrillas. So they'll kill civilians in their own if they're told to, if they need to, because
we're getting way off the subject, aren't we?
Oh no, I just mean that like this when we're talking about the army and that before, I was listing very recent ones from the 60s, 40s, 60s, 70s, and even up to 72, where the British military and militaries do and will do their own in like.
And that's the reason why every person needs to be armed. And that's the reason why every person needs to be armed. My bad, sorry.
Yep.
And that's why I'm not happy with our police being armed, frankly. I don't think your everyday police, our everyday police should be armed.
Put it this way, just on that same scenario which you were talking about.
Yeah, got you.
Cool. I don't believe that there's only 1,000 police, right?
Well, okay, put it this way: if all the citizens were disarmed, who controls the guns?
Nobody. How about no
guns? Imagine no guns.
Well, the rest of the world's got guns. Why in the hell should we just give them all away? Even the police, the military, everybody just.
Well, that's
We
not
don't
true.
have
The whole world
guns.
don't have guns. That's
No,
not
well,
really.
the police have got guns now, right?
There's no country in the world that has guns like the United States of America.
No, not
Oh
like
yeah,
America.
that's the,
Do you not
there's
think
a
the
good
fact that
reason
the
for
police have
that.
got guns?
There's more
There's a
guns
good
in
reason for
America
that.
than there are people.
Yeah,
Like,
for real.
Hi.
well, this
Can I
is
I
the
come
just
in
think
for a
problem.
minute?
the police
I
have got
feel
guns
like
to
it's
put
been
law and order
programmed
there,
into you.
not to be fought against, surely.
Hello,
Hang on,
Angela.
Andrew. I feel like it's been like programmed into all you Americans. Like now,
Yeah.
we're trying to speak about
Yeah.
imagine no guns, and you're just not having it.
Right.
And it ain't a
No,
thing of
no.
you. It's like a lot of Americans. That's
I,
the
Yeah.
I don't think the
Well,
rest of the
obviously, we're
world
not
is
budging.
having it.
Like,
Well,
imagine
see-
no guns. But where do the guns go?
Yeah.
Yeah, who controls them then? Who controls
There
them
is
then?
no. But imagine, this is the thing,
there
though.
isn't.
Imagine
Well,
no
well,
guns.
that's a nice idea. Can we get rid of all of them across the world? Period. I mean,
Do you want a
where
lawless
no one
society?
actually has a.
Domestically, yeah. Armies need
Can
guns,
the
of course,
lady
but
speak?
domestically,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I like the UK.
Hang on,
The UK is a great example
Let's hang on.
because
Let's try to get a bit of
No,
order,
no.
man. I think
Yeah.
Angela's trying to speak. Angela, you're quite
Order.
quiet. Go on,
Can
Angela.
I come in as a person from a neutral country?
You can. Can I just hear from Angela, bro, and then I'll come straight to you.
Yeah, of course, can. Work away.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, well,
I forgot. Oh, no. I was
Forgot
going to say,
what you
so
said.
what you're saying is that because the police have got guns, then you guys should have guns.
No.
No? Okay, that's fair enough. Then I
No.
misheard that
Okay,
one.
all right.
But
All right,
also,
order in
can I,
here. Go on.
pardon?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
gonna, I caught the conversation late, but I've heard this kind of conversation a couple of times.
Okay.
I think so. Generally, everybody is against owning guns, and the American is in favor of owning guns. So I come from Ireland. Very few people have guns here. Pretty much like the UK, you have to go through a very extensive process to get a gun license. It's almost impossible. I would be in favor of the American. I think people should have the right to bear arms. The biggest enemy that people have ever faced is your government.
Oh, yeah.
Governments are responsible for more deaths than anybody in the world. I have no fear of my neighbor owning a gun. I live in a kind of a rural area. A lot of people have guns. I have very little fear of those guys ever causing me harm with a gun. Essentially, I can't defend myself, if anything, when pear-shaped in this country. And that's the reason why Americans have guns.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course not.
Do you have a problem with knife crime over there? Because here in like England, for instance, we have a massive problem with knife crime. It's like almost like a fucking epidemic, right?
Yeah.
Of knife crime. Now, as Scouser was saying, that, for instance, is a lot more personal, yeah? Like, even I, like, squirm at the thought of, like, having to, like, stick a knife in somebody close. That's quite... However, would I feel more comfortable with holding a gun and shooting 10 people from a distance? Like, obviously, this isn't something I'm going to do, but, again, there's not that personal... So what I'm saying is we have a massive problem with knife crime here, yeah? Imagine if guns were just available to everyone. And imagine those deaths that you see by knife crime. I reckon that would dramatically rise if we were to just turn around and say, right, let's give everyone guns.
Okay, well, I think it's... Well, hang on, let me answer. Hang on.
It'd be like the Wild West.
Hang on. So, right, so in Ireland, there isn't really a problem with knife crime. It's on the increase. I've read in the UK that it's a problem, but everybody doesn't go around stabbing each other. Most people won't interject for fear of, being stabbed themselves. But I would personally feel safer if I had a gun. So if somebody came at me with a knife, I would take the gun out and, it would end there and then. And I think it's more of a culture thing rather than a weapons thing. You look at somewhere like Switzerland. Switzerland has a higher per capita ratio of gun ownership, but their crime level is extremely, extremely low. And I'll always go back to the reason why Americans put the right to bear arms into their constitution. It's it's when the government goes rogue. So then you have the ability to defend yourself. I mean, you may think, that will never happen. That could never happen. But it fucking does happen.
But that's what it was for. That's what it was for. It was for the government when they get tyranny,
Yeah, to prevent that, so people have some power. Now, granted, you're not going to put up much of a fight against, F-16s and the weapons the government have, but they have to go door to door. And in Ireland, basically, we don't have much of an army. But the way we managed to get through the issue with the English and in 1916 was through guerrilla tactics. And so, you know, if we didn't have those weapons, it would still be the same case. And of course, nobody wants to go, okay, well, yeah, I want to kill somebody. And most people can never imagine themselves killing anybody. But go hungry for 2 or 3 weeks and you fucking eat your next door neighbor if you have to.
Fucking hell, yes.
Can I just say that?
Well, that's what I worry about sometimes.
The only problem I have with it is, like, if you've got a hammer, every problem becomes a nail. Do you understand what I mean?
But you have a hammer already, so you know every problem isn't dealt with your hammer.
Oh, I've got it. So when I've got a hammer in my hand, I go around hitting all kinds of shit. I'll hit anything with my hammer.
How many people have you hit with a hammer in the last week?
I'll hit the fence. I'll hit the fucking anything.
Yeah, but you
ain't gonna be worth shit.
Next door.
I think
Are we to say that if we own guns, that we're all going to go out in the morning and start killing people left, right, and centre? Like,
No, when you say about how many a day, did you know in America
it's more likely to end?
In open carry states in America, the criminals are on the back foot, not the lawful citizens. I'm not being funny. In some states in America, they don't mess about. All the criminals know this. They know it's a very high possibility that they'll be carrying. If it's not on show, it doesn't really matter, and they'll get taken out. You know, when the chief sheriff of the county says things, we've all seen it. They say, "Well, next time they can take some lessons off us because they took 4 shots to kill him. Hopefully, we can cut that down to 1 shot." But if like I said, if you burgle it out, we've seen them say this. I remember the guy said.
I know what you mean, Welshman lad.
It's not like, you know, there's 125 daily deaths of, you know, things like homicides, suicides, and accidental shootings and stuff involving guns.
Can I just say that over there? Can just one thing over there?
The crime,
two mass shootings a day over there.
Yeah. The main point is that, and it's indisputable.
Whoa. No, like, everyone's talking, man. I can't hear a fucking word anymore.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I just finish the points? Can I just finish? JJ, let me finish, because what it is when you go to states like Detroit and stuff and Chicago, where guns are completely banned, right? Then it's in the criminals' advantage, because they don't care. They don't care whether guns are legal or not, because they're not. It doesn't matter. They're a criminal. So it puts the lawful citizens on the back foot then, because they can't protect themselves.
Right.
It's almost as though, imagine again, just like we were saying to our American friend there, Welsh. I think the main thing is to do is imagine the situation with no guns, kind of like the UK. So is it like that in the UK, where there's no legal, you know, not real. There's legal avenues, but gun violence in the UK compared to America, there is a huge difference, isn't there, Welsh?
Yes, obviously. I mean, nothing's like it in the world. I know the point you're going to make, but regardless, America's America. You can't get rid of the guns in America. There's more guns than people in America.
We did it in lots of Europe, all over the place.
It's never going to happen. You don't understand the Constitution. You don't understand the Constitution for saying that. You really don't.
We're talking about an amendment. We're talking about an amendment, aren't we? The key word is amended. You can amend it again.
George can do it.
You can amend it, and it is outdated. I go back to it's outdated.
250 years it hasn't been amended. So carry on, lads.
Right.
Yeah, well, because 250 years ago they had AR-15s.
Can I just add in there? Can I just add in there? You know, the Constitution did used to have prohibition in there. Did used to have slavery. They amended them, didn't they? So
what good would it do Americans to amend their laws where they have no guns?
Reduce gun crimes. It would reduce gun deaths. No mass school shootings. No mass school shootings. No mass school shootings. That's the massive one.
You don't care about deaths in American schools. Let's be real. Nobody fucking cares about the deaths of a couple of kids in the States, really.
Composed of the preamble, 7 articles, and 27 amendments.
Not really, not in a real sense, like not in a real sense.
27 amendments. So
somebody name me 5. Somebody give me the names of 5 children in America who've died in school shootings quickly.
I don't know.
Exactly. No one really.
You're right. We don't know the names, so who cares if they all die, right? There you go.
The job's really, like millions of people die every day. Why does it matter? Why does it matter if somebody dies by a gun or bowel disease? There's outrage about bowel disease.
All right. A member of your family, I think it would matter. really
Can I just say it's interesting? I've got an interview coming up,
in my
right?
family die from different things, but I don't call for a ban on everything.
I've got an interview coming up very soon.
Why? What is the reason to own guns? Why is it that we feel comfortable that the government has guns and criminals have guns? And you want to take the right away from law-abiding citizens to be able to properly...
Taking guns away from everybody would be the idea. I don't know why you keep saying that.
Fantasy.
Like, you're deluding yourself. You're deluding yourself. But Britain is not America.
I'm honestly surprised you know the difference, Welshie. I'm genuinely shocked you know the difference. I'm sure they all blur together in your eyes. But we have done it across the world.
JOJ, don't start talking like a fucking knob shite, all right? No, don't start talking like a knob shite. We're having a conversation. Don't start that bullshit, all right?
Don't act like you're making reasonable, normal human points.
There's 400 million guns in private ownership in America. There's more guns than people. In the UK, about 1-2% of the population had guns. That's the fucking difference.
What about, it's not only happened in the UK, has it?
Yeah.
But is anybody safer for not having guns?
Okay.
Nothing is like America. There's more guns in private ownership than people. Give me a country that got more guns than people.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It makes it completely different.
Hey, Welshie, if you let someone else talk, they'd explain why it's different, but you're going to be a child about it because you have the mental capacity of one. That's just what you're doing.
If somebody wants to do harm to somebody, they will do whatever they want to do.
No such thing as nuances, though, Welshie. There's no such thing as any sort of complexity with anything. You can't just say that, hang on a minute, entire continents have done this stuff, including the European continent.
But no other country in the world has the ownership of guns like America.
I've just explained to you that entire continents have done this. And you're like, but no other country, but entire continents have done that. That directly answers what you're saying.
But my point is, 2%, 5% of the population had guns then.
Not at the time. They were very prevalent. They were very prevalent within society after the war, and then there was a massive cleanup during that time after the war where there was an extensive amount of guns, unbelievable amounts of guns. The entire continent cleaned up. Oh, sorry, Welshie. I know you're allergic to facts, but that's just how it was.
There was a world war that went right across fucking Europe and came back. Loads of weapons every fucking where, and they have cleaned them up. You're talking shit, Welshie. Even when you shout, it doesn't.
Okay, let's work this out then.
All right, yeah, let's do it in a way where we're not going to all speak over each other, yeah?
Because 2 minutes each.
In the chat, can't hear you. I can't hear you. I'm sure other people on the panel can't hear
you. I'll tell you what, it's going to be impossible with Welsh, I'm going to drop down and you guys will have a much smoother time. I tend to sugar.
No, BB, in a way where just like I say, man, it'll be a consideration for everyone on panel. There's not just me, there's not just you, there's all of us.
Oh, no, that's exactly what I'm saying, dude. Right, no worries, you guys take it easy anyways.
No, don't go, Jay. Don't be silly.
No, I just honestly, I love coming on panels. I love chatting with people, but some people are just pricks, and I can't be asked spending time.
The sad thing was, we were debating, and he started some attacks on me, and I responded. You know.
No, you're just a shouter, Welshman. You just.
Right, I want to answer Auditing here because he's like, no one cares. To say no one cares, that's silly, man. I see atrocities around the world, bro, and like especially when it comes to children. And as a parent, I can't help but fucking feel some emotion there. Like,
yeah, I understand. Yeah, she's right. Hang on, can you get back out for
so for instance, so I've got an interview coming up soon, actually. With I can't say too much about it, right? Other than basically, it's a woman from America whose son is serving over 1,000 years in prison for a mass shooting. Okay. So she's going to be coming on. Wingnut would probably know if I said. I'm not going to. I'm just going to release the interview. Yeah. It's taken a while because I've had to wait for her to go through certain legal issues before she can do an interview. But yeah, it'll be interesting to hear because you don't really hear it. You hear like about the incident. You'll hear maybe victims' names, etc. But I've never really heard a mother or somebody whose son is actually been convicted of such a crime. So should make for an interesting interview and to see what her thoughts are as well.
Okay, so can I respond to that about the caring issue?
Yeah.
Right. So I don't mean it in the sense that, nobody, cares, or like I couldn't care less, like, fuck them if they die. What I mean is nobody really cares. Like, so if you really care, like say one of your relatives dies or a friend dies, well then you really care about that person. So when we see these school shooting in America, it is a tragedy. Like, it's awful. It shouldn't happen. But nobody really, cares that much to actually reach out to the family, to start their own campaign. And really, essentially,
people have empathy.
I know they have empathy, but let me finish. No. But nobody really fucking cares. Like, you guys listening to me now, if something happened to me tomorrow and I come on and say, listen, this happened, everyone go, oh, that's terrible. But you wouldn't really care in the real sense of the word,
I know, but you're saying it a bit.
You say that, but I disagree. I disagree.
Or what?
No, like, empathy has its limits, right? And there's the thing with empathy. Empathy. Hang on, listen. Let me finish. You have to let me finish. So empathy can become toxic, right? So if we look at the, say the left in Europe and the States, where empathy becomes toxic, where you care so much for others that you lose sight of what's actually good and healthy for yourself and as a society, right? And as free individuals, if you don't have the ability to protect yourself, you are weak. And I've listened to this chat and others like it for a little bit, but basically everybody complains how tyrannical their governments are, how much overreach there is. And they're the ones, that's the enemy, and they're the ones that are armed to the fucking teeth. And people shit on Americans, but we're the ones who've been brainwashed.
Because having guns will change policies, though. I don't understand.
It won't change policies, but it gives you the ability to protect yourself and your family, right? Let's look at the immigration problem. Let's do a bit of imagination. 10 guys come storming into your house. And what have you got? A fucking hammer or a knife?
How many people, and I don't know this statistic, I've just thrown out probably a pointless question, but how many people do you think actually are out there protecting themselves with their guns to the amount of people that are using guns to go out and just fucking do insane shit, like kill people?
Well,
okay.
I've no idea, but the idea for me with gun ownership is to be able to protect.
Because you've already said it, there's hardly any home invasions because already they're put off by the fact that they have.
But it's to have the ability to defend yourself. So, and in the event that a government goes tyrannical, and they do all the fucking time, then you have some ability to defend yourself. So in the UK, I look across the water and I see people getting locked up for fucking stupid posts they've made on Facebook. Like, that's not too far away.
There was a guy that got put in. There was a guy that got put in jail for sitting there praying for his son in front of an abortion clinic. That was in the UK, wasn't it?
It's insane. Like, and so on the one hand, you've got people, up in arms, like, oh, it's terrible. We can't say this, we can't say that. And then when you say, well, how about the right to protect yourself so you don't end up in these situations? And that's what the American forefathers saw. They knew. That's why they left fucking Britain. They knew that governments go tyrannical. And the reality of it is the only way to protect yourself, as hard as it is to accept, is violence. When push comes to something, it comes down to it. Because if we were in Neanderthal times, you'd have the same people saying we need to ban sticks.
Can I just chip in here?
Yeah, go on, BG.
This amendment or whatever, the forefathers, it was written years ago. It was written when muskets was about, not freaking AR-15s and bloody semi-automatic weapons.
If I can interject quickly, if they had AR-15s back then, they would have put in AR-15s.
Yeah,
they had muskets back then. So, but it doesn't matter. Like, so you will never. The reality is, a well-organized government is basically it's impossible to defeat in conventional warfare. When things go bad, the only way to do it is through guerrilla tactics. And if you don't have the ability to defend yourself, or in the American Constitution, to form militias, that's why they formed the militias, because they were protecting themselves against the enemy, which is the government.
At the minute.
Well, even if you're going against your government, though, you're taking a gun to a drone fight. Yeah. The government will always win. So what's the point?
No.
Well,
if that's the case, you may as well just roll over and fucking accept everything they do to you. Like, have them forcibly vaccinate you.
Well, that's what you're going to do anyway, pal. No one's going to ever overthrow a government. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell would you be able to.
How would you mitigate that?
Do you know the reason they're not? Because you're never going to get enough people to, and there's proof in that. And the reason there's proof in that is because we have governments. Where's all these governments being overthrown? Where is it?
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't happen because it doesn't happen.
Governments do get overthrown.
It's overthrown by other governments. It's a Game
of
Thrones.
You have internal revolutions.
See, that's the thing. The federal government is not the throne. Okay, that's the difference. The federal government is not the throne. It's not the castle. It's not not the king's kingdom. We're not in the king's kingdom over here. Fuck all that bullshit. You know what I mean? That's the whole purpose and the whole reason for America in the first place, because all of us came from a country that was oppressed to the point of like being ruled over by a few select people that think that they have the godly fucking given right to rule over you, and you have the obligation to just sit there and obey. That's bullshit.
In return for safety, booming economies.
See, that's the whole reason why we left all that shit, because that is all bullshit.
And here we are.
That's the reason why I don't want it to be like the rest of the world. I want the rest of the world to start acting like us, be more free. And honestly, we still need to work on our own shit here, because quite honestly, we're being overrun by this foreign mentality that comes in, infiltrates. It does. It infiltrates. A lot of it has to do a lot of this communist type of thinking, honestly, and this socialist type of thinking, and that's infiltrating our nation.
We go to communism.
Well, we'll never ever win the American over.
Without even understanding what it means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying everywhere else is communist. I'm saying that this type of mentality is being infiltrated into our nation, and it's switching it from what it was originally supposed to be to something that is more common. You know what I mean? Because honestly, man, there is a plan to unify all nations into one thing.
Guns don't make you free, pal.
No.
Guns don't make what?
No,
guns don't make you free.
Also,
they aid in that. I think what there's a complete difference in mentality. So the American mentality is based around individual freedom. Here in Europe, it's more collective.
Yeah.
America has more laws than any country I know. Honest to God, everything you want to do, you've got.
There's more people in prison here than there is in any other country.
Uniform to check that you can do it. Even fishing and fucking, all that stuff.
Yeah, no shit.
You can't do it unless you got a license for this, a license for that, a permit. Fucking.
I know that's why people advocate. That's why people advocate about not to have government interference. And when you don't have the ability to do something about it, well, then it just becomes more and more oppressive over fucking time.
Exactly.
And we have people here in this chat now saying, "Oh no, we need more oppression. We need less ability to defend ourselves. They're going to fuck us anyway. So let's just roll over and die."
You already
American spirit is
already have done, but they have to have so many laws to control you. I don't get it.
It's
like anyone can rule you. If you don't have the ability to defend yourself, well, then someone just rules over you. Think of bullying in school.
The bad people win. The bad people win. They don't care about gun laws. They don't care about gun laws. The bad people, they'll just get the guns.
Well, how did all those that protested at the Capitol building get on? When they tried to overthrow their government, how did they get on with that? Where are most of those people?
There was no guns involved in that one except for the officers.
Where are they now? Where are they now?
Yeah, but there.
That proves the point how tyrannical governments are when you protest.
I'm just saying, I'm with you that you should be allowed to do that, but the reality is not the same. The reality is not the same from our.
Yeah, but the reality is, right, so here's the reality. So we go back to when America was founded, okay? It was kind of, it was an even game, okay? And the idea was to limit the powers of government. But they were a very intelligent men, so they knew that, okay, eventually government has a tendency to grow and expand. And you can have this, minarchist view of government where you keep it as small as imaginably possible.
Why is the media allowed to talk shite, though, Irish? Why is
Why
the
is what?
media allowed to talk shite?
Well, that's what the media do. They
Because
literally
it's
talk
part of one system. There's always been, like, the reason people left the UK in the beginning, the founding fathers and those people who went to America, is because they lived in such a tyrannical society where everything was controlled by a small elite. You had your aristocracy, and they controlled everything. And then, you know, we had various revolutions, and the aristocracy went by the wayside. And there's arguments to be made, well, you should have kept it anyway. But those people didn't just vanish. They didn't just, you know, disappear into the ether. They just merged into different fucking entities. So you
Why
still
did you
have
say they left the UK?
Central banking system, the cartel of the banking system.
the reason
There's a
people
lot
went
of
to,
Irish
the reason
They
people
left
went
because
to
of a
America is
tyrannical
because
system
they
to end
left a
up with a
tyrannical society.
system.
Like they weren't free to practice their own religion. They were
There's a lot
taxed
of
to the
Irish
fucking
men,
hilt.
though. A lot
I
of
know, well, of
Irish.
course, for
That's why there's a big
different reasons.
contingency
Like,
of Irish there to this day, as you know.
okay, well, what point does that make?
Can I just bring up the point about criminals having guns?
Yeah.
So if you took all the guns away, now Australia
not gonna
proved
happen,
this
though.
when they had the biggest mass shooting ever, and it
Yeah.
still hasn't been beaten to this day.
I agree. It is different though. I agree with you. They did stop. I know the point he's making about Australia because they banned it in Australia.
The bandit Australia, the weapon that was used ended up being £1,000. It ended up, as soon as they banned them, it was £30,000 on the black market.
I agree with you, but do you know how much gear is out there? Coke is like £150 out there. The difference between Australia and America is you got Mexico next door, and the CIA, apart from the CIA, were importing guns to Mexico and drugs back and forth. It's such a porous border. The criminals will always be able to get guns in America. You can't confiscate 400 million guns.
Well, the largest criminals are the government, man. Let me tell you, man. That's the largest.
I know
criminals.
that. But am I right in saying the CIA were flooding America with gear, and then paying for it with guns to Mexico?
Yeah, you're getting involved in conspiracies and that.
No.
It's Fast and Furious. Fast and Furious.
So there's actually a film with Tom Cruise in it where it was proven, mate, where that
was the code name for it.
They would fill the planes with guns to Mexico and then fill the planes with coke on the way back. And Arkansas was a big place for it. There's a thing called Arkansas. Check up that word, Arkansas, and see what happens.
It wasn't Mexico, it was Nicaragua.
Sorry.
Runs that
story again. Yeah.
It's a very porous border, and that's the reality. You can't.
Well, that was actually not done at the border. That was done by plane.
Yeah, maybe people build that fence like 35,000 feet high. So
well, you give any mafia enough money and enough resources, they'll do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And that's what the government, the corporation technically that is in place right now today here in America is not necessarily running unconstitutionally. You know, it's all done in a fraud. Even the fiat currency, this petrodollar is unconstitutional. Technically, the only constitutional money that we're supposed to have is gold and silver. But they took all that away illegally, basically unconstitutionally. In the back rooms, they'd say, "Oh, this is only temporary." Well, nothing ever is temporary with the government. They claim temporary at the beginning, kind of like the shot in the arm thing. They said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, just 2 weeks turned into freaking years down the line, and they're still trying to fucking put that back into the play. You know what I mean? Because that was a way of control. I mean, you see how many people over there actually would call the cops if people weren't wearing a mask. You know what I mean? We got crazy for a minute there, you know? And so...
The point I'm trying to... cost millions and millions. No, the Zaka cards from Iraq.
The point I was trying to prove is, though, if you ban guns, the price of guns would go exponentially higher, making it more difficult for criminals to purchase said guns.
Yeah, if you ban guns, criminals will just buy guns, and the law-abiding citizens won't, and then the criminals will have the upper advantage. America is unique.
Yeah, but if you're going to have an home invasion, guys, you know, all the want is TV. All they want is your TV. Just let them have the TV. Just go buy a new TV on insurance.
All
Yeah.
countries
You know.
are unique, Welshman. I don't know if you've never
You're all right,
been out
but
of
there's
wherever
people
you
that
live.
won't.
Yeah, all
I
countries
was
are
just
unique.
gonna let someone mug you. Just let them. Oh yeah, just let them. Fuck
You're
it.
not lying.
Well, if they've got a gun,
If they've got a gun, yeah. So if someone, if you've got home invaders, like baby, and with a gun, are you just going to let them take your TV?
So what
I
you're
would.
saying is then, so every home invader, to be a successful home invader, just needs to make sure they carry a gun.
Yeah, especially in a gun-free state.
I don't.
Which the criminals will go get those guns if that's the case.
Yeah.
That's
correct.
I mean, no, that's an assumption you're making. That's just an assumption you're making, but that's not.
No, it's not.
Okay, put it this way.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
Where it's bad for them. Not
let
as
me
bad
ask you a
as
question.
But hang
All
on
right,
a minute.
check it out.
Hang on, let's Scouse talk, bro. I haven't heard from him. Go on, Scouse. You're a bit low for some reason.
Liverpool, it's not a knife city no more, mate. You don't come to Liverpool with a knife for the fight because they call straps.
There you go.
Well, okay, put it this way. Imagine yourself being a burglar, all right? And you got two neighborhoods, one across the street from each other. All right, the one on the left, almost every person in that neighborhood is carrying a gun and probably has access to a gun or something like that and willing to use it to defend their home and their family and stuff like that. All right. And then you got the other neighborhood to the other side of the street that doesn't have anything. All right. You have the other neighborhood that doesn't have any guns at all. Which one would you want to burgle?
Yeah.
How about if nobody had guns? I mean, that was the original.
But they've got 400 million guns.
How about
That's a false dilemma. That's a terrible argument. Imagine if nobody had guns.
It is a terrible argument because it's not going to happen.
I mean, guns.
It's 400 million guns. There's 400 million. How are you going to get them for a start?
I know about it for certain. They've removed guns from the UK.
Well, who is going to remove those guns?
Yeah,
because criminals still have the guns. Like, you don't get it. Like, they've removed them away from law-abiding citizens.
When we say imagine no guns, right? We mean no guns. No,
we may as well put on the fucking guns. We may as well put on
there's always going to be guns. There's always going to be guns. But the only people who are going to use guns are criminals, not law-abiding citizens.
How loud you can keep shouting it and tell me again how many guns there are.
But no one's agreeing with you, Nick. No one's agreeing with you, Nick.
It has been done. It's been done all over the country.
Yes, it gets done in countries that don't have a high percentage of people that own guns in the first place, and the vast majority of gun owners in the UK, right? They got shotguns. It's shotguns they got. They haven't got pistols and machine guns.
Shotguns. Nude Guru makes a good point. If you let someone convince you to disarm yourself, you failed to realise what they were there for to begin with. Yeah. That's a fair point.
Yeah. Look, predators prey on the weak.
If you're not
exactly.
Look at the jungle. Like, lions don't attack the healthiest fucking gazelle. They go after the weak. The weakest gazelle. Right. They attack that. So, like,
how about you put in new law to get caught with?
Right. As long as I protect myself, fuck the next guy because he hasn't got a gun. What you mean?
How you put a law in that if when you ban guns and then if you get caught with a gun, death sentence. Bosh. They'll soon hand them in.
Okay, but Bear, I can get this video now where it shows this woman in a house. Her husband had died like a week, 2 weeks before. And this woman's in the house. She's pregnant and she's got children in the house. These two lads broke into her house. She's on the phone to 999. And she said, I've got a gun. And the woman says, like, you know, just stay here with this police on their way. And she goes, if you use the gun, and she goes, yeah. She goes, if they come through my door, she goes, you do what you feel you need to do. Well, she killed them both, right? And there it is there. She is so weak in that circumstance. I know it's an exception, well, I'll get it now for you. It's real.
But they're just trying to get the TV.
Yeah, she blew him away with a shotgun. She blew him away with a shotgun.
Where was this?
in America, and the sheriff said, "I'm
Well,
fully
how the
behind
fuck
her."
did you phone 999 and get an answer?
What do you mean? She's in America. That's what did
Well,
you?
you said phone 999.
Oh,
I
go
thought
on then. Go on then. Go on. You got me there, Nix. You got me
Police
there.
response is not that
No, it's
quick.
not about getting you, mate. It's just
Yeah,
about
you got me. You got me there,
not
mate.
about getting you, Welshie. It's not about that.
Well, so what was it about? What was it about?
I assumed for a while you were talking about somebody in the UK.
No.
So that's why I fucking
No,
spoke
it's
up.
America.
It's not about getting you. It's not that personal. You're not that fucking. You don't mean that much to me.
Okay. Well, how does it stand in the UK at the moment? What can you legally do to protect yourself in the UK at the moment? Because here you can't have pepper spray, you can't carry a knife, you can't carry any
You
sort
can't
of
do pepper spray here. What they do here is they carry that marker spray, and then so they'll spray someone with that marker spray, and then go to the police and say,
Isn't that pathetic though? Like that's all you can do is put a bit of paint on somebody who attacks you, and then
you can carry
you can do nothing to prevent it.
Carry a crossbow.
Oh well, that's something, I suppose. Because to my mind, like it's really about making people helpless. Like so, then you have to rely on government for everything. And I think that's the difference between the American spirit and the European spirit. The American spirit is always about the individual as primacy. It's about individual rights. And in Europe, it's a far more socialist society, and everything is collectivist. We have to take.
I don't believe we should have them. I don't believe we should have them. You say someone's on a burglary, right? And there's kids that see them shooting a mum and dad, and then they go, you know what? You might as well shoot these two, and then there's no fucking witness. It'd just be nuts. That's what would go on. Do you know what I mean?
But that's the fear, like that everybody just goes nuts. So then you have to accept yourself. You have to ask yourself the question first: would that be you in that situation? If you in the morning someone gives you a handgun, do you suddenly become like a mass murderer? Like all these guys in the States where they commit these mass shootings.
Oh, hang on. If you've given a gun to someone that's not trained to use it and stuff, yeah, you just handed somebody a gun.
That's the problem you have.
Yeah, I'm asking them like the hype. So we're all dealing now on far-fetched hypotheticals. So I'm giving them a hypothetical. If somebody hands you a gun, do you automatically become this crazed monster who's going to turn up at the local fucking schools, start killing kids, or
who knows?
Well, come on, be honest. Like, so if I handed you a gun now, the next morning, would you go to the local school? Do you know what I've really wanted to do all my life, but only that I didn't have a handgun? I wanted to shoot up a fucking school.
Can I tell you what I do?
Yeah,
honestly?
that's bullshit, though.
Somebody gave me a gun, right? Hang on, let me tell him. Please let me tell you. If somebody gave me a gun, I'd have to hide it because it's illegal. I'd have to hide it because it's against the law, and I'd have to hide it in case my kids.
Oh yeah.
Now, but you're just explaining now. So if it was legal, I'm saying like we're dealing with this hypothetical. So it's legal. Somebody hands you a gun. Do you automatically become some crazy lunatic?
I would keep a gun in a safe. You wouldn't wear it on the hip, would you?
But you're avoiding the question. You're avoiding.
Anyway,
the question is, if I handed you a gun in the morning, would you become a crazed shooter and go to a school and start killing people left, right, and center?
I don't know. I don't understand the mind of school shooters, but I know that
it's the mind. It's not the gun. It's the mind.
Right. No, that old argument's daft, man.
And those are the ones that should get punished, not the citizens.
Guns are made specifically to kill.
We have cases in China where there's mass stabbings in school because guns aren't available. Does the gun make it easier? Yes. Are we going to have this argument? Okay, well, let's do away with every gun on the planet because a couple of kids might get shot up in some state in America that everybody's going to forget about in 2 days until the next one. Wow. So what government does is government uses that as a pretext then to disarm their entire population. Oh, well, we have to disarm everybody. It's the think of the children argument. It's a fallacious argument.
Right.
So, you can disarm people.
I do. That's the reason why I need guns is because I do think of the children.
Yeah, you can't. But you keep saying it hasn't been done anywhere. All you do is you disarm basically law-abiding people. Criminals don't give a fuck about the law, hence the name criminal.
Sentence for carrying a gun for only one. If
criminals don't care, man, they don't care.
Bear, are you there, mate?
I think a lot of them do care. I think you're imagining far too much.
Oh yeah, at the criminal meeting, they sit down and go, lads, I was going to commit that gun crime, but because the laws are so strict, I'm not going to do it now.
Here you are. Here's a gun. Don't let
Jesus
anyone
Christ.
catch you.
Bear, are you there?
That is going to be so fucking hidden. You must be crazy.
Just percentage-wise.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Ange.
Do you know the question that you asked?
To say.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on, Ange.
No, you please go, please. I've only arrived just.
I forgot what I was going to say because of Irish. I can get words in edgeways with him.
That's because we've had our weapons taken away from us. The only weapons Irishmen have are their words, like, because if I had a gun, I'd come over to Liverpool and get you, you know.
No, but come on, words can slay, you know it. No, make it. But no. So if someone gave me a gun, I would absolutely shit myself. No matter my daughter, I found the BB gun in a room about 2017 it would have been.
Let me ask you this: could you put a knife in someone? Could you put a knife in someone? If someone come in your house in the middle of the night, you put a knife in someone.
What would you grab? The knife or gun?
Hang on, let's finish asking her what I was asking there, Welshie.
No, I wouldn't. Sorry.
You wouldn't, right?
No, I wouldn't.
You're going to get.
Yeah,
Angela.
Finish asking what I was.
Sorry, man. I know it's hard. I'm sorry. I apologize.
So, if you had a gun, would you shoot them at a distance? Would that be easier for you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't shoot anyone. Are you mad?
Would you shoot them?
Me, no.
If somebody was wanting to do you harm, and your only tools to defend yourself was a knife or a gun, which one would you grab?
I choose justice, law and order, and justice.
Honestly, you know what? No, you've got to think.
Bye-bye, Niggy. Bye-bye, Niggy.
No, because you know what? People have been in situations, you know, where...
Your head.
Okay, Bear.
Niggy, hang on. Can I just take a minute to say you kind of contradict yourself there, Niggy, to be fair. That's only because hang on. That's only because I've heard you on many occasions say that you're not one for calling the police, so therefore you don't believe in law and order because you wouldn't call them.
It's different when they do it. So this video Bear's just brought up here, right? It is a prime example of a vulnerable female from a vulnerable female, and she fights back. And this is a brilliant video to show it.
But this is just one instance. It means fuck all.
It does. It's brilliant. But listen to it. Honestly, she lost her husband a week before. She's 18,
right?
And she's on a house on her own, pregnant with a child, and this is how she responds. And good luck to her.
I will play it, but Niggy, go on, respond to that because I don't understand. You said you want to put your faith in the law enforcement, but you've already said many a time,
Bear.
You haven't done a guilty for being a bit late, man.
Also, I mean, this is an exercise in thinking, isn't it? This is a thinking exercise.
Yes.
The position I'm taking is not necessarily my real life position, Bear.
This is my YouTube on discussion.
No, I can guarantee that would be my absolute choice. That I would not do anything.
Oh well,
if somebody,
I wouldn't rate your chances. I wouldn't rate your chances with some animal in your establishment.
Angela, Angela, can I ask you a question?
Hang on.
Do you have? You're talking there now, Scouser. Time for the Scouser to be quiet.
Come on. Can we play this video?
I just want to ask Angela. So, Angela, do you have children?
Give the Scouser
if somebody, I'll stop it. Be quiet. If somebody attacked your child, like if your child's life was in danger, would you pick up?
And that's what this movie's about as well.
You know what? Absolutely, I would. You know, because 100%. Anyone hit my kid, that's it. Definitely.
Yeah.
I would straight. They. Oh my God, there's again. Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to: the right to be able to protect your loved ones.
I'd give my life for my daughter.
There we go.
But you shouldn't give your life. You should be able to take the fucker's life.
That's what I'm saying. I'd either do life.
So what you do, Angela? You pick up the both because then he can't pick up the other. That's what you do, and you obviously use the ping, use the ping, and you finish him off.
No. I could not do that. I couldn't do it. I've been in situations where that.
Well, no, you haven't.
But what do you mean I haven't?
Well, you trust me. The situation this woman's in here, you hopefully would have reacted the same way and blasted the fuckers away.
I wouldn't have a
access
problem
to a gun.
putting one between the eyes, mate.
Well, that's the hypothetical. That's the hypothetical you were given. You were given a hypothetical.
Yeah, so as things stand, Angela, if somebody come into your home, if someone come into your home to cause your children harm at the moment, you've very little options. You essentially have, a hammer.
No, hold a minute. No, wait. I'll put myself in front of my kids.
Oh, God almighty.
And then you go take everyone out.
You've got to think, though, you've got to think that we've never had to think about having guns.
You already said you'll put your life on the line. You already said you put your life on the line. So
no, I didn't know it. No, I would put myself in any situation. When you think about any attacks and stuff in the country, I'm not joking. When I went to the cinema and watched Deadpool 2, I haven't got a damn clue about what happened in it. Nothing, because I was sat there thinking the whole time, what if?
Oh no! Did you mute yourself?
Her gun at an intruder while she was on the phone with 911. 18-year-old Sarah McKinley says the operator told her she couldn't shoot until the man broke into her home, and the stunning moments that followed were all caught on tape. ABC's Ryan Owens has the story.
I wouldn't have done it, but it was my son. I'd protect him.
This young mother takes maternal instinct to a whole new level.
I walked over and got the 12 gauge. Went in the bedroom and got the pistol and put the bottle in his mouth, and then I called 911.
18-year-old Sarah McKinley killed a man, she says, to protect her 3-month-old baby.
I'm here by myself with my infant baby. Can I please get a dispatcher out here immediately?
Late on New Year's Eve, police say 2 men, one armed with a 12-inch hunting knife, were trying to break into her home outside Oklahoma City. McKinley recognized one of them as someone she thought was stalking her.
He was from door to door trying to bust in. They said I couldn't shoot him until he come in the door.
Are your doors locked? Yes, I've got 2 guns in my hand. Is it okay to shoot him if he comes in the store?
I can't tell you that you can do that, but you do what you have to do to protect your baby.
The teen mother killed the 24-year-old intruder the second he stepped inside. Police call the shooting justified.
You're allowed to shoot an unauthorized person that is in your home. The law provides you the remedy and sanctions the use of deadly force.
The second intruder turned himself in. McKinley was home alone that night because her husband just died of cancer on Christmas Day. While her son may grow up without his father, this is one little boy who will always know Mom will do anything to protect him.
I knew that I was going to have to choose him or my son, and it wasn't going to be my son, so I did what I had to do. There's nothing more dangerous than a mother with her child.
For Good Morning America, Ryan Owens, ABC News, Dallas.
Boy, that is not.
And it's about the kids, man. Seriously, that is the whole reason why most people I know are armed, is to protect the children. All right? That's the main reason.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. I've got a problem with that. Not one bit. Not one bit.
Honestly, man.
So the person specifically broke into the house to harm the child.
Well, the burglarized. Doesn't matter what they were going to do. They're breaking into the house.
Yeah, but you're phrasing it as in like, oh, and even that video was phrasing it. Oh, they're doing it to protect their child.
Brilliant.
What?
Brilliant.
Was this guy just going to go blow away a baby? No, he wasn't.
He could have raped the mother. He could have done anything. He could have done anything. I'll guarantee that every criminal in that town will now turn around and realise if they even step 1 foot in a stranger's house, they're likely to get blown away. And if they're not blown away, they're not going. Then the person ain't going to get arrested for it. The sheriff's backing it.
Do you seriously think?
God, you've got some enemies if you think someone's going to. People that are entering your house are specifically there to murder you.
It doesn't matter what they're there for. If they're breaking your back door through, right? They're not welcome. They're going to get it in that town. And I tell you what, the criminals ain't going to be burglaring houses. They ain't going to be doing it.
Of course,
yeah. See, honestly,
they'll get blown away like the last guy, won't they?
I'll guarantee you. You don't know if they're going to
Guarantee it.
Guaranteed there's been
you've
houses broken
seen
into.
It's like
them.
one less
seen that.
criminal out there.
Shall we have a look?
If she lived in Chicago, she'd have had to protect herself with a bat, a kosh, or a knife against two fully grown men. She's got a toddler in her arms, and she's pregnant. She just lost her husband 7 days earlier.
It'd be interesting to find out how long it took the police to get there.
Well, it doesn't matter if you've got a gun.
Do you seriously think people have learned from that, will she?
Do you think, put it this way, if you're willing to break into my house, you forfeited your life right off the bat. You've done that to begin with.
That sheriff will always side on the householder.
That's an American thing. That's not how it works.
That's why America is completely different to every country in the world when it comes to gun ownership.
In that one story, for instance, there's one less criminal on the road right now because she shot him. There's one less criminal. But honestly, man, if criminals, put it this way, there's a lot of reasons why criminals actually happen. But when it comes down to it, if they're less likely to do much
You don't
anything,
know what they're going to do.
if they're willing, if they're not willing to get shot, because most criminals, they just want to get in and get out and get their thing and go. No harm, no interaction, none whatsoever. All right, that's what criminals want. They don't want to get in, they don't want to get an interaction with the homeowner. They don't want to get an interaction with anybody. They just want to get in and out. That's what a criminal wants, in a sense.
But you're less likely to burglarize a place that are gun friendly than a place that is gun free. Because if you went to a state where it was gun free, the criminals have guns, and none of the householders do have guns. Because if the householders get caught with guns, they're going to be in big trouble because they're not supposed to have guns in that state.
Using statistics anyway, gun owners are 80% more likely to use that gun upon themselves rather than actually against somebody else.
Yeah.
So
but that's
actually,
their choice. Do you mean by accident, or do you mean
no suicides by proper SIDs?
They're going to do that anyway. They're going to do that anyway.
But what I'm getting at,
to do with owning a gun.
I'm dead against
it. Doesn't matter.
I'm dead against
it just happens to be quick and easy. That's the only reason why a lot of it happens.
But if they said no on a gun, they're going to get one anyway off someone, aren't they?
Legal guns is an equalizer, and that was proven by that 15-year-old pregnant woman there. It's an equalizer.
I was just want to ask the question when it comes down to it. This idea of just getting rid of all the guns, for instance. Okay, well that's a nice idea. That's a utopian type of idea. But who controls the guns? Who has
the criminals? Who make them now?
Who will control?
3D printer. Hey,
right.
You can make them on a 3D printer now. Do you know that?
Right. You can 3D print them and stuff. But that's a lawful right anyway. When it comes down to it, manufacturing our own weapons anyway. So but the thing is who will control them if nobody has them? I mean, not criminals, not citizens, not cops, not.
You're talking about in a perfect world, yeah. In a perfect world, yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing. The rest of the world's not perfect.
Exactly. America and Britain are obviously two very different freaking places and different cultures. So we'll never get this consensus in America. Over here, we have a different way of thinking.
Not true. Like, actually, a lot of America's culture comes from ours. It's taken from us. It's just that we've allowed ourselves to be stripped of all our rights. That's the
word here, please.
About 1,000 years worth of it.
It's about the children. When you keep saying it's about
the children.
It's about the kids. Firearms are the leading cause of death for American children and teens, responsible for nearly 4,400 deaths in 2020. Guns.
Swimming pools is right up there with it too. It's like should we ban swimming pools too?
Just let that sink in, Wing. That you're talking again. Just let it sink in.
Firearms are the leading cause of death for children and teens in your country. Using them, mate. 15-year-olds using them in our city, mate. You don't come here with a knife for the fight to Liverpool because the kids use them.
The baddies have got guns. The baddies have got guns, eh?
It's bad. It's
No,
bad.
the young kids have got guns in this country.
Yes, that's my point, everybody.
That's why you'd have.
What are you going to do? So what are you going to do then? Go and shoot kids then when they come at you?
No, my point is that if guns are illegal, it doesn't stop criminals from buying guns.
It's
Well,
but
kids
it's the
at any age can
people
pull
that have
that
got
trigger. You know
guns
what I'm
here
saying?
are the ones that have got the drugs.
It stops lawful Americans from having guns. That's what it
Why
does.
don't
When
you
you ban
understand
guns.
that no guns part? Why can't you understand it?
Local Americans though that go in and have their guns, that's fair enough, and they're allowed to like defend their property, let's say. But when there surely has to be a line where you know, like if someone's coming to rob your house, they're coming to rob your house. They're not coming to harm you.
Well, you don't know that. You're not going to ask questions.
No, you don't know that. But when you've when you're in a court of law, that's for them to decide.
No. So your choices are they're going to rob you, they're going to grape you, or they're going to do another one, unalive you. So they're your options.
What I'm saying is, though, if you're upstairs out the way,
I ain't going to wait for the options. I'm going to react.
Well, I've got an option for you, Welshie. You'd rather have firearms as the leading cause of death for our teenagers, would you?
What was that?
Well, do you want that to happen here? The firearms are the leading cause of death for children.
No, I'm not saying guns are perfect either, but I've got to say it, and I keep on saying it. That if you ban in America, if you ban guns, let me just make this sentence.
Imagine that the leading.
Let me just make this statement. I heard you, Nikki. Can we have a conversation?
Right. No, not normally with you now.
But in Chicago they've banned guns, but it's got one of the highest murder rates. It's got one of the highest murder rates in America, proving that by banning guns doesn't stop gun murder. What it does is stops law-abiding citizens from having guns. The criminals still kill people.
Repeating the same thing doesn't matter.
Right then, well, it's just factual, and you're not getting.
It will stop mass shootings, won't it? And that's what this was about. Well, it wasn't about that, was it?
What was it
over there. No, hold on a minute. Over there, it's equivalent now. Mass shootings, 4 or more. Yeah, and that's on average over there at the moment 2 a day.
Right, Angela. Well, I was saying before.
Right, 2 a day. Angela.
No, that is. It's, yeah, it is. 4 or more people is classed as mass shooting.
Got you all the way up as well. I'm saying Scouse is really low. He keeps trying to talk, and it's like.
Sorry.
A bit.
Scouse, I talk over you as well. I'm sorry, mate.
No,
right.
No.
What I wanted to say to Angela, right, when I said before about 15-year-olds, I'm talking about the 15-year-old, 16-year-old gangs in Liverpool that are up to no good anyway. So to Wingnut, it's a totally different thing. Like they can get guns. They can get guns willy-nilly there, right? A gun over here costs a lot of money, right? It's a different type of person, right? Obviously, they're selling drugs. Who can afford to buy? Who can afford to buy them type of things? It's called straps, right? And there's hardly anyone gets stabbed. The odd one gets stabbed, but what happens is when the guns, because they don't know how to use them properly and all that, they ends up fucking going hitting innocent people and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
They're just using them just randomly, aren't they? Because they've got it on them.
And once they start with them, you see, they know that like if they don't kill them, right? They're going.
Hey, let me ask you this:
they're going to come. Let me finish. The chances are they're going to come back and do you. You see?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, they're going to go. There's a lad round here who was 17, and at the time, and he had a gun on him. And this man, I think he was like mid-30s or whatever, came along and supposedly ran over his electric scooter. He went up, followed the guy up to his house, and went and shot him in the stomach. He went to shoot him again, but it jammed. And he's now serving 18 years. He was 17 at the time. He's serving 18 years now. And then another lad again, but he was part of like doing drugs or whatever in the area. And then there's another lad down the road who, not down the road, like for me, Well, he was, yeah, but he was always like doing money and whatever. And then he went down to say drop off and that, and then he was going to be robbed at that point. And what he did is he had
It's all
pulled it
about
out.
drugs, isn't it, Angela?
Yeah, absolutely. And he stabbed this lad.
Well,
Dad
that's what I
died,
was saying to ring
and
enough.
but he
Angela,
got
over here, girl.
manslaughter though. He
Sorry,
got
go on.
manslaughter and he got 8 years.
You got 8
But
for
their kids.
manslaughter.
Yeah, he killed the guy there, but because the guy was coming to attack him, yeah, and even though he killed him, it was like
Must have done it
manslaughter.
in court, yeah. It's on a deal. It's on a deal in court or something. But yeah,
It's mad.
it's
There was a
different.
stabbing on
isn't it,
Christmas
Angela?
Day about 300 meters away from me on Christmas Day.
It's a different culture than Wingnuts. The way it is here, like he's saying. So you wouldn't. What I'm saying, Angela, is you wouldn't get anyone in the UK that who owns guns and that, right, to be burgling houses. It doesn't happen. They're a different league. They're selling drugs and making big money.
Yeah.
They wouldn't go and rob someone's house. No. To be fair, they get their heads punched in, burglars. You know what I mean? Even they won't fucking put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Them type of lads, them gangs in Liverpool, that like, listen, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a fair point, that, mate. Yeah.
Once they start over there, it's different. It's like it's war. Do you know what I mean? But innocent people get caught up in it, but it's a different culture to Wingnuts. Like a burglar over there can go and get a gun or borrow a gun off anyone. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone see IEDs live? One of the last ones, and he has an American on, and he started shooting his pistol. And we were all saying, oh, tell him to stop doing it. You get a strike for that, right? But what he done was, he said, you got a license for that gun? And he went, yeah, no problem. And that. I said, just put it up on the thing, on the screen there. So the people on the live can see it, that you're an American and that. And he did. He put his license on. He weren't bothered, do you know what I mean, about his name or anything like that. And he was like showing us out just like on a target, I think it was, or just firing at the back. Bang, 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 bang. Do you know what I mean? And 9 milli. It was smart. He said, I can just go and get these for $200 and that. Do you know what I mean? He said, and that's quite dear for what it was. Do you know what I mean? Over here, you'd be talking it's grand the grands and that. So them type of people, you see, BBA they wouldn't be burgling our houses, mate. They'd take that as like an insult.
Hello?
Still there? Oh, it's him. You
you cut off a little bit there.
Just saying, it's just a totally different culture than Wingnuts. Wingnuts, the type of person who wouldn't burgle houses who have guns here in Liverpool because they cost a lot of money.
Just dickheads that do that game.
Yeah, the houses, but the big sign, they're classed as like they're doing whatever. They're not burgling houses. In fact, they was absolutely murder someone who's doing houses. They battered them. Do you know what I mean? And like it's a totally different culture than what Wingnuts on about. Totally different. Because they can get them willy-nilly. They're over there. It's a different type of person who has them, and they don't burgle houses with guns. I would say 99% of burglars don't burgle houses with guns, and you don't hear of it. You just don't hear of it.
Welshman just likes to imagine himself, you know.
Well, it's all the facts are there. All the facts are there. Chicago and many cities like New Orleans, another dry city, I believe, as well. And yet the gun deaths are through the roof in there. We're not talking about burglaries. He specifically was talking about burglaries. We're talking about gang violence.
Yeah, God, that's different, isn't it?
That's different. So I'm talking about gun deaths, which would include gang violence. And home burglaries, because if a burglar burgles a house with a gun, it's even more. They're even in more trouble because they're massive charges if they're gun. But like for
I'm not going
for
to
a, for a
assume
gang
what their
member,
intent is. Yeah.
But hypothetically, just hypothetically, if we were, if America were to ban all guns, you would agree that there would be less deaths in America, yeah?
No.
Yeah, but that's if you could get rid of all guns.
Yeah, I'm just like
it would not.
It's an hypothetical question. So less guns means less deaths, does it not?
No.
Yeah,
No.
I
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. Come on, don't talk immaculate.
Every single measure that there is tells you that look it up, mate.
Anyway, I've got to drop. My power's going. BBA, I'm off in chat. Cheers for having us on.
No, see you later, Jay.
But yeah.
Nice to meet you, panel, man.
Go on, Nicky. Sorry, mate.
I'm sorry, mate. I said what?
I thought you were just saying something.
No, I think I'm pretty much ready for bed. To be honest, I think we're pretty much done about this, aren't we? It was an exercise in thinking, anyway, wasn't it? What if they weren't?
Still didn't get down to the airplanes, though, did we? While I went down there.
Well, she agrees. Less guns means less deaths.
See that? So it's something we should be worried about instead of guns. Instead of imagining guns, you know, when they banned lead from petrol in cars and stuff. Remember all that?
Yeah.
Petrol used to have lead in it, and the fucking world was dying because people were getting stupid because of it. So they banned it from cars about 30 years ago. It's still used in aircraft. I had no idea, but they still use add lead to air fuel. And
another one
of fucking lead. That is a hell of a lot to be in the atmosphere.
Another one, Niggy, is the ships. They only use clean fuel when they're close to the coast. As soon as they get into open seas, they use dirty fuel to power the ships.
I don't know, I've seen it.
Yeah, because you see the thingy, the slicks, don't you?
Yeah.
I just never knew that. I thought it was just
belching that they're burning. They use heavy oil.
Yeah, basically, I think they have two tanks, completely different tanks, for obviously, towards the coast, and then as soon as you get into open sea,
they fucking clean it out and they put stuff back in it. They clean it out by fucking.
Daily News says America owns Britain. I don't know if you've done your research, but I'd probably say it's the other way around, to be fair. But, you know.
Do we want it back? Would we have it back? Bear, what do you think?
No, they can.
It never was yours in the first place.
Oh yeah, it was.
5 years it has. Did you think the 5 years it has of us in the UK? Would you say?
Sorry, Scouser.
Would you say we're 5 years behind the USA?
No.
Well,
on some things.
Yeah, not with guns and stuff. Not with guns. With certain things, yeah.
So America still in the 60s, man.
Yeah, America is about 5-10 years behind Europe when it comes to cars driving into people. But it'll become more and more common.
Yeah,
ban cars.
Charlie, I saw Charlie Chalk. I saw it. The guy yesterday explaining that it's not only in small aircraft. It's also in the big ones, apparently. Yeah, I know this, but it doesn't really appear to. It doesn't really. I used to quote this a lot myself. This those who would give up.
You later roads in Ireland, and I could get a word in, lads.
Well, temporary safety. We're not looking for temporary safety, are we? We're looking for long-term safety.
I do believe it's a lot easier though to shoot someone than it is to stick something in them up.
So you see why I think it would be such an issue, like you say, the difference between us is culture.
So easy,
yeah.
You'd be able to sleep at night and everything. Honestly,
I get Welshie's point to think you're going to just diminish and get rid of all those guns when there's more guns in America than people by quite a bit as well, I think. It's just insane. However, at the same time, as much as I could go, yeah, I kind of support the American way of thinking, I don't think that there could now be a point in time where we could be like, right, we want our guns back. Because if we were to do that, those deaths that we're seeing a lot of up and down the country by knife crime, which, like I said, is got to be at an all-time high in the UK, right?
Yeah,
Or certainly in England,
down south
and down the
and
country. If you were to replace that with guns being more easily available against gangs, then it would be insane. Those
we would worry about it then.
Bear, think about it now, right? If, for example, hypothetically, in America, they did take all the guns, and for some reason, everyone gave their guns up in America. You know what would be the first thing to go in America then? The First Amendment will be gone. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of because that's basically what a lot of these countries do in the end. But America is unique and not like everywhere else in the world. The reason why unique can't get invaded, the reason why America can't get invaded really is because everyone in America's got guns. And they'll be getting shot at from every angle from any American.
What price, though? I still can't get over this. The fact that the leading cause of death for kids, it should be fucking something like suicide, or something like that. That's fixable. If you put, this.
If someone's in that frame
children
of mind,
and teenagers is guns. Fancy having to teach your kid how to hide in a school.
If someone's in that frame of
half
mind,
the
anyway.
Yeah,
whether it's by gun or whether it's by taking tablets and a bottle of vodka. If someone's in that frame of mind, it's what's available.
Yeah, they'll just move
anyway.
If you take away the guns, then that takes away those school shootings. Which
there was a
serious problem with school
shootings. You really there a bit, lads. Come on. Let's be having it, right?
There was a school shooting a couple of years ago, about 2-3 years ago, where he had got in. He had got into his dad's locker, his gun locker. And he went and shoot the school up. They arrested the father, and rightly so, because of all accounts, he had mental issues. He was raised on a number of occasions. He had mental issues. he talked some shit openly before. So how and why was he allowed to have these guns available to him? Yeah, of course.
Let me tell you something that's quite
insane. It caused massive problems.
Keep it up, man.
I want to say two things. One, I want to answer to Charlie. Scales, give us a sec. I want to answer to Charlie. He is right. 55% of gun-related deaths in the USA are from suicides. That's quite insane when you think about it. 55%, a massive number, which tells me when you start looking at that, the bigger problem rather than the guns is the mental health issues within America that isn't being tackled, right?
Yeah. And that is a problem we share with America.
Two. I told you I'm going to be doing this interview, yeah?
What do you think the cause of the mental problem
I'll let you in on a little thing that will blow your mind. So this person who committed this crazy atrocity, this act of shooting up a load of people, some months before had a standoff with SWAT outside their home. Like a 3-4 hour standoff, I believe, outside their home, right? They were arrested. After they were arrested, the police dropped the charges. There was no further action, right? They just dropped the charges for something like that. That sounds insane, right? A big standoff. There was more to it, which you'll hear about. And they dropped the charges. Now, again, you would think something like that, they would, one, deal with that, and two, there's got to be a mental health issue maybe there, right? No, they just let this person go. Not long after, this person then goes on to commit a mass shooting. So again, it goes to tell me that there's definitely issues within the whole system in the US where people aren't getting any support with mental health issues, and the government are doing crazy things, knowing what people could potentially be capable of because of actions they've already committed. Then go and let somebody off with no support, no charges held against them, and as I said, some months later go on to commit.
Well, it works in their favor when it comes down to disarming the American people, because then they can use that as a jumping off point to, oh, we need to get rid of all guns. Look at this. We want to stop this. When they had full, in some cases, they had full knowledge of this, these people. And, you know, they've had interactions with them before, but yet they just let it happen. You know what I mean? Where, you know, but it's just one of them things, dude. It's like, I think it plays into their hand, because even the attempt on Trump, I mean, that was a springboard on to disarm people. Oh, we can't have that. You know?
On that. Right,
Well, I mean, it's all a springboard. It's all a springboard. Even the drone scenario.
Bring notes 1 sec, lads. You know, the American media, your news outlets and that over there, right? They tell terrible lies, mate. It's well known.
They do here. It's no different here, Scouts. It's no different than here.
Yeah, but America, it's more amplified, BBA. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it is. I don't know if you know about it. It's quite interesting as well. Look up something called Operation Mockingbird regarding
CIA.
Yeah. Go look at that shit. That's very interesting, and that will tell you how the CIA
the
media.
Can I just add about these mass shooters, right? People who do these mass shooters, before they did it, they were mostly normal, law-abiding citizens, weren't they?
Well, no, there's lots of signals to say that they got issues.
I'm trying to say to you, there's individuals where they've done stuff before. And listen, I listen to Americans turn around and sit there, and some will say conspiracy theorists are all of these mass shootings are fake and they're all orchestrated and it's actors.
Not all of them.
No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I think that's bollocks, right?
I know a fella got fined for that.
There is points where it has been.
No. I won't have it. However, there are clearly times like this incident that I'm talking about where, like, somebody's done something that's very concerning, man. A standoff with SWAT, doing what they done for as long as they did. Like, that person clearly needs some help. Yeah. They should probably even be facing some charge. They should be
10 years stretch for that.
Accountability for that. However, they wasn't. So that's where sometimes I think, do the government purposely know about these people but not act on them until it's too late, because that's the narrative that they want to push, that look, these mass shootings are happening and we need to take away your guns. I don't think it's orchestrated. I think that's a stretch. There would have to be too many people involved and it would never be kept.
I think it's
I'm going to say yes, and the reason is you see at riots, you see these fucking policemen dressed as, like, trying to pretend to be civvies and making it kick off. Yeah, absolutely. It would happen. It would happen. It would go from riots to guns. Yes, of course it would.
Yeah.
They'll use them. They'll use people.
Listen,
like
I could tell you something that'd blow your fucking heads off, but I couldn't say it on here.
Oh,
you
can't say that. Leave us hanging. Is a clue.
Because I talk about Ben Busy's on here, BBI.
Can you talk about who?
Ben Busy's, Ben Police.
Well, that's what we cover, man.
Right. So when we lived in Thailand, right, my mate lived there as well. Right. So we used to go on a thing called Lads Night Out, and my mate owned like these apartments anyway that he rented out. He brought these two fellas anyway. They ended up being, long story short, two Benz Matrix, right? One of them was the sergeant and the other one was just a normal Matrix. You know, armed to the teeth and that. Bastards, basically, they was. But me and my mate acted like we were fucking non-members type of thing. Didn't know the score and that. Like, hooray. And one of them ones, and we were like winking at each other. And you know what he was telling us? Like, a squad, right? They all have to be bent, right?
Yeah, can you tell us what a matrix is, please?
Matrix is like, they're the bastard ones.
Yeah. TSG boys, yeah?
used to be called OSC.
Right, yeah, there's different names. There's different names. So TSG is the Territorial Support Group, basically the riot police. The riot police, are they? Matrix?
No, they don't think of it. No, right,
Okay.
yeah, right. It's not like that, but these are the worst of the worst. You know what I mean? That run the streets, that everyone's petrified of, because the bastards and that, and the stuff that they were telling us, because they were getting big egos. Because most of the people that would be at the table, like I said, wouldn't be being a criminal. And they were haters of criminals. They were them type of people, okay? Just normal Joe Blogs workers that wasn't criminals and were like against it all. So these coppers like coming out with it all, and they're going, "Oh, we had it done the same. If I had been in that position and all that, they were taking watches and everything, mate, right, and sticking down on money and." They were proper at the bollocks, do you know what I mean? And like the dealers couldn't say nothing. Do you know, so yeah, they couldn't say nothing because they're gonna get done for more dough. You know what I mean? More like money laundering. It went proper deep. So like we were going, where do you get your intelligence from and all that? And they were telling us all sorts. They were going, a lot of it comes from like the criminals themselves, rival gangs and stuff. And they don't hardly do things now. You know, they use drones and mate, the stuff that they were coming out with, mate, because they were getting an ego inflation from it. But Stuart, the sergeant, he was getting like annoyed with it that this fucking Neil was coming out with all the shite that he was coming out with. You could tell sometimes by the look on his face and that, you know what I mean? Because me and my mate Dave were hitting him with all sorts of like questions, you know what I mean? It was mainly us that were blown away, mate, by some of the stuff that they told us. And he said, like, if this went in the newspaper, right, in Liverpool, right, like the local Liverpool Echo, they'd be like 1 or 2 every day. He went, so what they do is they just
careful. Chicken wait.
This is what I mean. How could I put it? Yeah, I couldn't even. That's why I said before, BBI.
Careful.
Do you know what I mean?
Be careful how you put things, man.
Yeah, I'm just so like so there'd be one as I say, like that'd go locally. You know what I mean? So it was kept behind closed doors, and he just got rid of them, but they kept the pension. Do you know what I mean? They were just off skis on the quiet, on the QT, and with full pension. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And these were out there living it large. You know what I mean? But horrible, like, you know, living a double life type of thing, like robbing them, this life of work, and you know what I mean? Like, different when you come home and, yeah, you get what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah, you've got to be some kind of person to do it, ain't you? Be able to pull it off.
Goes deep, mate. You know, honestly, I couldn't even.
Money's a hell of a driver, isn't it?
Yeah, money, mate. Like, what is that they found? The paper that they found. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And most of the people have to say, well, you see, but egging them on, going like, yeah, I'd do that myself. You know what I mean? If I was one of them.
Yeah.
One of them, and like, they were getting, their ego was going up. Well, one of them was, do you know what I mean? His ego was getting inflated, and the more it got inflated, the more it come out. Do you know what I mean? Out of him, because he loved it, because he was getting the attention. You see, the limelight was on him, but you could see with the other one, his mate being kind of happy. You know what I mean? Also, you could tell, because it started getting less and less and less and less. Started getting less and less, and kind of like new. Do you know what I mean? I just thought, oh, I can't believe all of it. Blew me head off, to be honest. I mean, mates. Do you know what I mean? You're just, when you think you know, you think you know it all, mate, and you're just like, wow, what have I just did there? Wow, you know what I mean?
So, gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, it's bedtime for this little Welshman. I'm going to wish you good night.
Welshman,
thank you very much. Yeah, North Wales, mate.
No worries, mate. It's only a short one. I'm probably going to shut it down in a minute
Well,
myself.
yeah, thanks for having us up, guys. Thank you for the chat. Love and peace, everybody.
See you later. It's been a good little debate on it, BBI.
Yeah, well, I was trying to follow.
It don't usually catch you, lads.
You what, mate?
I don't usually catch you. I only catch you now and again, don't I?
Yeah, I know, man. It's good to see you, bro. It's good to
see you. Later all.
But I'm always
respect, mate. Thanks for coming, bro.
Nice.
I had to come on, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
the way it's gone.
Yeah, man. Well, happy New Year to everyone. Anyway, like I said,
yeah, man.
Now
happy New Year, and big up the chat. Bring nuts. Nice meeting you, lads. And
no worries.
Thanks for having us on, lad. Respect, yeah.
Yeah, respect, man. Girls, take care. Wingnut, again, pleasure having you on, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll probably be live tomorrow.
The conversation is good. The conversation's good, though.
Oh, yeah. Conversation's always good, man. Like, it's the way we do things, right? Learning from each other and things, you know? The Knights Templar Church. That's a new name. Evening or morning. Hi, BBO. What's your first visit? Your visit, to the Banbury Hotel. The whole setup of the Invader Hotel. Sinister, to say the least. We have migrants, guarded invaders. Keep up the great work. Yeah, it's some crazy shit, right? But yeah,
All right. Well, I appreciate it. You have a good one out there, BB.
Yeah, and you, bro. Take care, bro. But yeah, man, Happy New Year to everyone again. Anne-Marie Stepper Style, Nomadic Brit. Hope you had a good Christmas, mate, and a good New Year and that. I know when I spoke to you around Christmas time, you said you're having a good one of your best, so respect. Angela, bit crazy. Some of you were a bit quiet on panel tonight, and I did try and turn everybody up. Some people's mics seem to be louder than others. So, but yeah, it gets, why are you finishing? Because it's late. The night is not young. It is late. I started this live late. It was never going to be a long one. I'll, if no one's live during the day tomorrow, what day are we on tomorrow? Yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll do one. And just open up the panel. So, but yeah, take care, everyone. UK Dom, respect, bro. Take care, everyone. I'll see you on the next one. Yeah. Peace.